tell us about how the IIM Shillong interview was different than other interview.
Okay, so starting from the very initial stage. So first is that set objectives. And to be more specific, try to set smart objectives. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and that are time oriented. So, and if I talk about the I am Shillong interview experience, so when I sat for it, it was first a GD round where we were given a case, and then a set of 5 to 6 people were there who discussed it. So GD is somewhat pressurizing, and there is a lot of nervousness that is attached to it. I mean,
Yes.
myself must have experienced it. So somewhere that was a thing that I'm not very confident in that, but I prepared a lot, so I was able to perform well. Then in personal interview, they asked me questions regarding my background, and mostly when you put some buzzwords in your answers.
Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new episode of GIBS. Today we have Neelisha with us. She is from IIM Shillong, and we are going to talk about her strategy of how she prepared for CAT. What are the challenges that she faced while preparation, and what are the strategy that she applied and dealt with those challenges. So I welcome you, Neelisha, in this video of GIBS. And please tell us about yourself and a little bit about your family background and educational background as well.
Thank you, Anand, for the lovely welcome. And yeah, so if I introduce myself, so I completed my graduation in BCom Honors from the Dayal Singh College, Delhi University in the year 2020. That was the COVID batch, you can say. And I scored decently well. So I got 7.54 CGPA. And if I talk about my 10th and 12th, so I completed my 12th from Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad, and 10th from Chabil Das. And my percentages were 90.8, and I got 10 CGPA in my 10th examination. I was also a scholar during that day. So yes, this is about my educational background. I also have formal work experience of 22 months, and that was specifically in the domain of HR. And yeah, that was a nice journey. But then I wanted to change my career and wanted to explore different domains. So I chose to go for an MBA. And if I talk about my family background, so my father is an accounts person. So he manages accounts of different organizations. And my brother is currently a government employee.
So tell us about you were working for 22 months in HR. So what motivated you to leave that corporate job and started preparation for CAT? Because it's very unrewarding exam. If you, I must say actually.
No, I would not consider it as an unrewarding exam because the experiences it brings and the learnings it gives you is a whole fresh perspective and everything is very new for you. So that was an exciting journey. But yeah, the decision at that point of time is very tough when you actually have to leave your job and take up this step.
Yeah. So tell us about what motivated you to take that step actually.
One was because I was pursuing my job in HR. I was not very confident that whether I want to pursue it in long term. And I wanted to explore different domains like marketing, finance. So I made a decision that I will go ahead with my CAT exam and then pursue my MBA.
Okay. So tell us about when did you started your preparation? When did you decide that okay now HR is I have done enough HR in my life, in my educational life, and I'm going to do CAT preparation. So when did you decide that?
So as I mentioned that I am a 2020 pass out. So MBA was a plan in back of my mind for very long, but because of the COVID, I was not very sure whether I should go ahead for MBA at this point of time. So I opted for the job. And after that, when I realized that now it is becoming a monotonous kind of a job, I am doing same things repeatedly and there is some kind of saturation I was feeling. So I thought that I should take up something new and then I started preparing. So around 2021, I started preparing for CAT.
Tell us about what are the challenges that you face, while preparation of CAT. I mean, since you were preparing with the job, so there is different challenges with the job preparation. Tell us about those challenges and also tell us about those challenges like 3 subjects in a CAT. So which of those 3 subjects you find is challenging to prepare?
So first thing is coming from a commerce background, I was not very comfortable with quant because mostly engineers, they have a lot of practice in this kind of aptitude test. So that's why they're very prepared. So because you are going to compete with them, it was difficult for me. And quant was the area where I focused a lot. My LRDI was comparatively strong area because I was good in logical reasoning. So I used to easily do the questions and sets that were given in the paper. And if I talk about my strategy, so mostly what I did was to take up mocks. So, this is a fear in most of us students that we don't want to take tests because then we will score less and we will feel confidence is not there. and that nervousness, that whether we should give it or not. So I believe that this was something I pushed myself a lot, that at least give one. Then that actually where you are and where you want to reach, so you can see what
Yes.
is the gap and what needs to be bridged.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a pretty good strategy to prepare for any exam. You have to know that where is the gap, where you want to reach, what percentile you need, and where you are currently. So that's very good strategy to go with. And
Yeah.
now tell us about since you prepare with the job. So tell us about, is it better to leave the job or prepare with the job?
So personally, I continued my job, but I believe it depends on person to person. So everyone knows what their limits are, and if you think that you would not be able to balance them, or you have no other financial stress to take care of, then it's better if you leave the job, because then you know that you will not be able to devote your 100% to any of it, and you are not able to keep the balance. But for me, it worked because I was clear that these are the gaps and these are the basic areas I need to work upon, and I was more oriented towards taking tests. So whether it's sectional test, topic test, or mock tests, like whole full mock test. So I was more inclined towards that. That's why it worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like if you can, prepare with the job, there is an additional advantage of taking that responsibility while preparing for CAT, because then you get to, brag about those challenges that you faced while preparing in your SIV process, in your final placement as well. So it's ultimately going to help you if you can manage to, prepare with the job. I highly recommend that you should, and if you can, just if you don't want to, and you have seen that my work culture is so hectic and there is a lot of pressure from my work side that you cannot contribute, so please feel free to leave that actually. And now
Also,
tell
I
us.
would also like to add one point here. So, when you have a job, so there is a backup plan you have. So even if you don't perform well in CAT, then you can go back to your job. So this,
Yeah,
somewhere reduces your nervousness during the exam, and this helped me a lot.
yeah,
So because I knew
actually,
even if I did not perform, I have something I can go back to and I can prepare again. So this
yeah,
is a very good advantage of having a job and preparing beside the job.
yeah, actually, I mean, while in the exam, if you see that there are few questions that you are stressing out now that okay, I'm not
Mm.
performing well, at that point of time you realize that okay, don't take enough pressure, just try to perform
Hmm.
whatever you can. There is a job that is there for you. So that's actually good.
Yes.
And tell us about what study material you refer to. And if you have taken help from any coaching institute, you can feel free to take their names.
So I purchased the material from Career Launcher, and I mostly refer to their books and their test series. But also I was doing some mocks, the free mocks that were available online, like of Unacademy, then Times. So there are so many different websites where you will get so many different free mocks, topic tests. So just go through them as well. So the more you practice, the better you are in the position to sit for CAT.
Yeah, actually, I mean, there are n number of coaching institute, and every single one of them actually provide one or two free mock tests. So if
Yes.
you can take one or two, it is gonna be very much helpful. And yes, take coaching help if you can. That will be, I think, that will be beneficial, so that you don't have to worry about what kind of study material you need, what kind of study material, or which subjects, how long you want to continue with a single subject. So that's gonna be a little bit of easier on your side if you have coaching.
And even if you don't want to take up that, so there are so many videos that are freely available on YouTube. So you can utilize them if you don't want to invest money in buying or purchasing these books or specific test series. So you can also look for videos on online.
Yeah, there are a number of videos, and those videos are actually good videos. I mean,
Yes.
the one who has started like Cat King, people talk about so much about Cat King video on YouTube. It's very good. So, and I've seen that the content are very good actually. The quality is very good. If you want to continue with it, you can actually do that. And there are many people who have actually done it. So you should, if you can, take the help from coaching. Otherwise, go with the free open source. That's good. And
Yes.
now you have scored, you know, a percentile. You got a good percentile from Cat result. And the next important thing, the next big thing for any CAT aspirant is to prepare for their interview, because that's the
Yes.
make or break case. Whether you are getting into IIM or not, that's totally decided by your CAT score. So tell us about, actually not for CAT score, through your interview. So tell us about how did you prepare for your interview round, and also tell us about how the IIM Shillong interview was different than other interview.
Okay, so starting from the very initial stage. So first is that set objectives. And to be more specific, try to set smart objectives. So specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and that are time oriented. So
Yeah.
once you do it, then actually bring them into practice. So you know that eventually you have to crack this. Prepare all the basic questions. So like there are certain HR type questions. Tell me about yourself. What are your strengths, weaknesses? So these are a certain list of questions that I believe everyone should prepare before going for the interview. And
Yeah.
there are certain technical subjects. So especially if like I was having a work experience of 22 months. So I was definitely expected to know about HR, what I was doing in my work experience, what were the challenges I faced, and all about the HR industry. So I was well versed with the concepts before I sat for the actual interview and give lots and lots of mocks that helps you to gain confidence. That
Hmm.
you can also ask for feedback from your mentors that where I am lacking, how can I improve, and what are the certain areas that I can focus on. So this was my strategy before sitting for actual interview. And if I
Yeah.
talk about the IIM Shillong interview experience, so when I sat for it, it was first a GD round where we were
Okay.
given a case, and then a set of 5 to 6 people were there who discussed it. So GD is somewhat pressurizing, and there is a lot of nervousness that is attached to it. I believe you myself
Yeah.
must have experienced it. So somewhere that was a thing that I'm not very confident in that, but I prepared a lot, so I was able to perform well. Then in personal interview, they asked me questions regarding my background, and mostly when you put some buzzwords in your answers, they pick it. So like if I talk
Yeah.
them regarding that this is my experience and I did this, which created this kind of impact. So that impact they may like it and they may pick, and the next question that they're giving would be from that only. So how you are framing your answers will decide what is the next question that you are going to be asked. So because my interview was more focused on HR, so they asked me motivational theories, what is Maslow hierarchy
Yeah.
of
I'm sure.
motivation, and I was very happy because I already prepared all those. I knew that yes, I'm the one who is driving the interview. So this is
Yeah.
how my experience was.
Actually, I mean, if you know how to, drive an interview, it's like give your question, and after the last sentence or last few sentences, just add something so that they can pick that thing. Anything interested,
Yes.
just try to put those interesting part in that, so that they will pick that part and make sure to know that okay, this is the interesting thing that I put it in. So they are going to ask question about it, and I'm prepared for it. And
Yes.
don't just use buzzword, because you can actually drive your interview in a very well direction. You can actually pre-plan your entire interview if you have the good preparation of your answers. From the first question that that is tell me about yourself, from that tell me
Yes.
about yourself, you can manage every single thing actually. So that's very good. And now, congratulations to you that you are in now IIM Shillong. So now tell us about IIM Shillong experience, and divide it into two parts: the first 4 months and next 5 months.
Okay, so initially, because we have to shift and it's a residential program, so it was my first experience to live apart, like away from my family. So initially, I was very homesick. I was not comfortable in the environment because living in Delhi is not, it's very comfortable. You can have access to different kinds of food, taste buds, and everything. This is not the case in Shillong. But the
Yeah.
kind of weather, the kind of experience you will have on campus is very smooth and very seamless. So that was something that motivated me that I have to perform. And initially, the rigor, the stress that MBA brings to you is also difficult. Maintaining easy, good work-life balance and then doing this hectic course is something that is challenging. But I believe when you are comfortable with the friends, the professors, they are all ready to help you and ready to, help you be adapting to this environment. So overall, the experience becomes nice. And then in the last 5 months, I've been enjoying the journey. Now I know how to manage time, how to do all the projects and assignments within the deadlines that are given to us. It has been a roller coaster ride, to be honest, because there are so many ups and downs that you will face. So there will be days you are very depressed, that you are not confident, you feel that whether I'm
Yeah.
doing good or not. But then there are days when you actually are rewarded, when you get grace, like good marks, and then you feel that
Mm.
yes, I got what I deserved. So there are so many opportunities, but it's you who have to leverage it and who have to make full utilization of all the resources that are being provided to you. So overall,
Yeah.
it's a very nice journey.
Yeah, actually, I mean, in one interview, I heard one term called imposter syndrome. So then actually I realized that actually I do feel this imposter syndrome in my first 4 months, where I feel like
Hmm.
how can I be here? But don't
Hmm.
worry about that, because you're gonna feel when on your down part, you always gonna feel like do they make any bad decision on my part, like bad judgment to bring me into this program? How am I suitable for this? But once you are inside this IIM program, just know that you are the one. They choose you not just by random process. There is a hell lot of things that you went through to get to that part. So feeling of imposter syndrome is very much common in initially when they started pressurizing you, like training you like hell. Every time every single minute of you is pre-planned by your senior or your academic session. So that's when you realize that how much you can do in a single day when everything is planned. And after that you realize that okay, now this is the way how things are going to be. So you, after I think second semester, once you got your SIP, you're going to feel pretty much comfortable with it. And
Yes, true.
now tell us about what are the tricks or any tips or tricks that you applied in your preparation of CAT exams as well as interview. If you have any suggestion that you want to give it to an aspirant, so what would be that suggestion be?
So one is that don't get demotivated even if you fail, because failure is part of life. There will be many instances, or maybe just a bad day when even despite on your full preparation day you are not able to perform. So it's okay. Go with the flow, and things will do its magic within its time. So just take a pause, and it's okay. Also, second is one thing that I also find in my peers, that they are continuously working, but there is a certain point of time when they feel that now we are done. The saturation point comes. So don't wait till that point. Give yourself a break in between and rejuvenate, so that you feel that yes, you can manage everything and you are going in the right direction. One more tip, that please do proper analysis of all the mocks, all the tests you are doing and taking, so that you know that what are the mistakes, on what concepts you have to work on, and just keep smiling. That will do the work. So be confident and take a chill pill. Like, you are confident, then you will be able to make it. So,
yeah, actually, I mean, you have given us a great tip actually there. Keep smiling wherever you are, even in your interview. Like, if you have a good smile, make sure to practice it to make it. I mean, don't make it like a crazy smile like this much. So that's not a good smile. So you should know that what is good smile, so that you can break that barrier between your comfort level and your interviewer comfort level. So that's very great tips, Neelisha. That will sum up the entire interview. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop those questions to a comment. And if you like this video, do like it and share with your all CAT friend who are still preparing for CAT. And that's all from our side. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.